An oxymoron is a combination of words which contradict one another, more or less indicating that such a concept is impossible. The word oxymoron itself comes from two Latin words which mean smart and stupid. This video is an attempt to address the dilemma that arises when a pastor becomes a celebrity, a transition that can be quite dramatic and overwhelming with today's mass media. As Christians, we can see this dilemma illustrated in such passages as Mark 6, verse 31 to 34. Jesus said, "Come apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. So they departed into a desert place by ship privately. The people saw them departing and ran there out of all cities. And Jesus, when he saw much people, was moved with compassion towards them, because they were as sheep, not having a shepherd. So he began to teach them." We see in this passage that Jesus tried to escape the crowds that were chasing after him, only to give up and minister to them out of pity. Today, this can happen on an even grander scale because of the mass media. We just don't deal with thousands of people now. It very often amounts to literally millions. And when that happens, something has to give. Now, I have to say that I've never been a particularly good pastor. As I understand it, pastors need to be extremely patient, and that hardly describes me. But I do like to occasionally chat with people who have things they want to discuss, and I've especially noticed how hard it is to do that in my present situation, where I can get literally hundreds of emails in a single day. The mass media is great for teaching theory, but unless there are a lot of assistants who can help the celebrity evangelist with more personal concerns for the crowds that gather round, the sheep may easily become disillusioned and lost. Notice that in Matthew's account of the same incident, where Jesus was overwhelmed by the crowds, he adds that Jesus said this, "The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray to the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest." Do you see what Jesus was asking them to pray for? Faithful, reliable assistants who will help to counsel the many people in such big crowds, most of whom need more personal attention. And the situation is very much like that today. Everyone wants to preach. Everyone would like to be a celebrity. But we badly need patient listeners with enough wisdom to offer meaningful advice and counsel to those who are seeking greater understanding in the things of God. I am so grateful for the people who have assisted me in this area, and I pray that God will send us more. For certainly, there are many sheep out there without a shepherd. The word pastor literally means that, shepherd. And from that, we get the word pasture. "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He leads me into green pastures." In the Old Testament, King David was described as a man after God's own heart. He had grown up as a sheep herder, and he had the love of a shepherd for the sheep. Do we have that today? By comparison, it's so easy to teach, to tell everyone where they are wrong, or at least where we think they're wrong, and to feel like we've done a great thing by doing so. But where are the people who will pour their hearts out in love for the sheep, who will wade through all their stumbling and bumbling attempts to get things right until at last the light breaks through and they become shepherds themselves? For the first time in my life, I've not been able to keep up with all the mail that has come in from this video ministry. But unless people are writing in, I feel that there is a very important spiritual dimension that is missing in my relationship with the viewers on this channel. A Voice in the Desert should not be about a celebrity who entertains you each week with a new video. It needs to be about people who will change the world through our love for one another. I can understand pastors of little churches around the world feeling frustrated by celebrity pastors who steal their congregations from them. As most of you know, I have a lot of disagreements, strong disagreements, with the entire church world. But I would agree with these pastors that the answer to the problems of the world is not going to be fully communicated through YouTube or any other type of mass media communication. It must come through real people in one-on-one relationships with other real people. We need small communities of people who are learning every day to lay down their lives for one another in love. By this, Jesus said, by living together in love, they will know that you are my disciples. Sure, it's more comfortable listening to me than it is to get up off your backside, take a bath, change your clothes, and trundle off to church. All these lovely graphics you see dancing around on the screen are like candy for your eyes by comparison to some preacher struggling to keep your attention with a long sermon. And there are other conveniences of listening to YouTube preachers. If you need to use the restroom, or if you get a knock at the door, or if you just lose interest, you can shut me off and carry on without offending anyone. But where is the love being demonstrated in that? Now, I'm not really campaigning for you to go to your local neighborhood church. Surely you know me better than that. I'm pushing for something far more demanding than that. I'm pushing for you to start by writing to me, or more likely writing to someone who is part of our team, who is living and working nearer to you than I am. And I'm pushing for you to eventually leave everything, all of your comforts, and to get out there and join them, out on the streets, out in the real world. I want you to leapfrog right over comfortable church pews to the bitter realities of living by faith in an alien world. Laying down your life daily for God and others. That's what this video ministry is all about. We're looking for sheep who can recognize the shepherd's voice. My sheep hear my voice, Jesus said, and they follow me. You want someone who cares about you personally, and Jesus wants someone who cares about him personally. Are you prepared to meet him and meet us halfway? Please consider writing to us as the first step in getting out of your comfort zone and into the real world that God wants you to reach for him. My address is on screen now. Please write it down. Let me know what country you live in and share a little bit about your own situation when you write. Tell me what your vision is for the future, and maybe together we can find something more than just a video to bind us together in the kind of love that Jesus asks us to show this lost and dying world. I look forward to hearing from you today. God bless you.